Guys, welcome back to another episode, Brand Builder TV. We have a coach in the house, and we're going to be talking about, as always, right, the difference in branding in 2020 versus 2004, especially when it comes to small to medium business owners and commissioned salespeople, because it's been such an evolution in such a short period of time that in the history of the human race, I don't know that we've ever experienced this. I don't believe we've ever experienced in the last 15 years, 10 to 15 years, the evolution train going so fast. And I always say that that train's leaving with or without you. You're either getting on or it's running you over. You got to figure that out. So with no further ado, Jillian Christy, personal and professional coach, CEO at JillianChristie.com. Ascension Leadership Academy. I want her to talk about this, and we're going to share where she's going to share later on and in the notes where you can find her. So Jillian, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Dave.
How are you?
I am amazing. I'm so excited to be here.
Awesome. I want to talk about the Ascension. Am I saying that right?
Ascension Leadership Academy.
But before we do that, I'll give you the floor. Introduce yourself. And just give us that 30,000 foot view.
Excellent. Well, as Dave said, I'm Jillian Christy, and I am a personal boundaries coach. So I take people who are frustrated, exhausted, resentful, because they're so busy saying yes to everything in their life. I teach them to start saying no, so they can actually say yes to the things that they want in their life, going for their dreams, their goals, and a life they absolutely love waking up to.
Love it. I love it because I'm such a big fan. I know you've heard me talk about this as non-negotiables, right?
Yeah.
When you have non-negotiables, now you're clear and everyone else around you is clear, and it just makes life so much easier. But so many people, especially women, they feel so guilty of even saying the word non-negotiable, and that's what. So I love that niche because it's. To me, it's the foundation, right? If you can't figure out how to get past that, then where are you going to go?
Yeah, exactly. You're stuck. If you can't move beyond that, then you're stuck in your life.
Yes. And give us a little bit of information on Ascension, and I keep reading this off your profile, Ascension Leadership Academy. What is that?
Well, Ascension Leadership Academy is really the catalyst that got me moving into where I'm at now. So back in 2016, I started my journey in their program. And they were a fairly new program then. I was the third class for them. It's all about emotional intelligence. And I'm telling you, Dave, emotional, you hear it all over the place. 5 years ago, I'd never heard the term. And when I first heard about the program, I'll be honest, I thought it was a church program. I'm like, no, not going there. And then I was asked to do it. My boss at the time said, hey, look, I believe in you. I want you to do this. Would you please, I want to send you. And I said, okay, sure. So I went through it. And I'll tell you, at the time I was engaged. My fiance went through it with me. Shortly after we finished the program, I broke off the engagement. Because I knew things weren't right. And I stayed in their program. I coached with them for a year and a half, brought my daughter to California, coached her through it, went all the way through their programs, did their mastery and leadership program. It changed my life. It truly changed my life and gave me a trajectory of where I wanted to go with my life. I was coaching when I came to California. I was coaching nutrition. It was the gateway for me to start something new in my life, but it wasn't my passion. And I was looking for that piece. I thought, what do I want to do? Literally, I got to this point in my life where I'd gotten injured on my nursing job, couldn't do that anymore. And I was asking myself this question, what do I want to be when I grow up? What do I want to be when I grow up? And I'm up. I'm not supposed to be starting over at this point in my life. But life handed me a brand new book, and I took it on full force and went all in.
Is this an online program or is it a classroom?
Ascension Leadership Academy is in person.
Okay.
Parts of it are online, but it includes, I'm going to tell you, it's 5 months. It's a 5-month commitment. You have 5 weekends in person that you must be at. And then there are online components in between each of those weekends. But it's really it's a 5-month commitment that asks you to go all in on your life and dig underneath everything that you thought you were, everything that's going on. It allows you to release trauma, blame, shame, everything that has been holding you back in your life, and step into just a stronger, more confident you.
I love it. How long ago did you complete it?
I completed in January of 2017, and then I continued to coach all of 2017 for them.
And now are you still coaching for them?
I do not coach for them. I've gone on to get my professional coaching certification and launch my own program.
So you got the professional cert through them?
No, I got the professional cert through the International Coaching Federation.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Right.
Cool. All right. So, and then you're building your own thing.
Yes. And I'll tell you, I've heard from so many people over the years since I did all this. So many people have come to me and said, look, I love what this has done for you. I love watching the change in you, everything that's happened for you. I want to do this, but I'm so overcommitted financially, I absolutely can't do it. I'm not able to. I really want to, but I can't. And I understand that. I was a single mom for a lot of years, so I understand being so financially stuck that you feel like you can't do anything for yourself. So the membership that I'm launching is basically an entry-level program for people to really start to get their feet wet, because if you don't have somebody who believes in you or a starting place to start from, there's no way to ever start to build up that self-worth to say, yeah, you know what, I'm worth investing in. I am truly worth investing in.
Yeah, I mean, again, I know, we met at an event, and, listening to me, I'm such a big believer that everything starts and stops with your self-image, right? It's just, that's it. That's the epicenter.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love it. So, how long ago did you actually launch your company?
This program is just launched November 1st.
Okay, awesome. So that's awesome. So, with things that you've learned and things that you're still learning, what are some of the directions you're taking to brand and market in 2020?
Oh my, Dave. Huge difference. And I've learned a lot. I think with having a nursing background, I'm definitely a researcher. So if I don't know things, I will dig in and figure it out and learn it. So it's been a journey, and that's part of the reason why this program didn't launch till now. I've kind of pittered around with other coaching programs and things that I've done, but it just wasn't the right fit and the right feel. And I didn't have the marketing piece down.
Okay.
Now what I've done is I've realized that it's all about putting myself out there. And I'm going to say something that you said to me at the conference. It's about being brave enough to show every aspect of your life, no matter what it looks like, and just being authentically you in everything that you do.
Right. And let's underline that, right? To drive it even further. 2 things, and you heard me say this, your vulnerability becomes your credibility, right?
Yes.
You were bad enough to make it through. Now it's your obligation to share those scars.
Yes.
Right? From people that need that. There's people that need to hear what you went through, right? And you didn't go through that for no reason. And when you look at it as an obligation, that's a whole different mindset.
It truly is. And, I've met, having been a nurse for, this is my 25th year now. And I've met so many, both men and women, who they are just beaten down from years of giving. And nobody's ever reached out to them and said, hey, look, you are worth more than this. And I see you, and I see what's there and what's possible for you. And just, I think sometimes having somebody say that to you and actually seeing you for the first time when you've been looked over by physicians and bosses and CEOs and everything else, it makes a huge difference. And you get this thought of, wow, somebody sees me. And I'm worthy of doing something else with my life, or something different, or even just recouping my energy that I've given away so much.
Yeah, that's huge. So are you niching it down to that medical world, because that's been your world, like as far as coaching them?
I'm niching it down to nurses, teachers, and mothers.
Okay.
Is much. Although I will tell you, I've had a lot of men who have actually reached out to me, and so I am pondering starting a men's program with 2020.
And when we had that next day with the Q&A,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone in that room was saying, well, 80% of the women show up at the events, and because men don't want to ask for help. And I said, well, then maybe that's what you need to focus on, right? Is maybe that's where that void is. Maybe that's where the gap is.
It's true. My husband has come to me and he's like, can I be in your program? And I said, I love you, but no. I said, I will not coach you. But knowing and hearing him saying, and it's funny, I just met somebody at a networking event it was all about veterans. And he's like, I need you to make a veterans version of this. He said, I need you to go live and do this with veterans. I said,
Might be. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that might be. And you coming from a man, you have, as a woman, you have the right, I believe anyway, the right energy, right? Because you have that mix of feminine but also masculine. No, really.
I do.
No. Listen, and that's probably why our energy connected, right? Because I tend to intimidate people, but that's certain people, I should say.
Right.
And that's why you hear me say over and over, I'm just a big teddy bear, right? Just don't tell anybody, it's going to ruin my image. But yeah, so on a personal note, my input would be, I think that would be an awesome direction for you, because you have that balance, right? You have that natural balance that's going to make men feel really comfortable.
Thank you. Yeah, I have coached men, and I actually enjoy coaching men. I know a lot of women won't coach men, and I don't. And I think I honestly think part of it is the fact that I'm a Harley chick on the side. So I'm very comfortable in that world.
Yes.
And I can communicate well with men.
There's no question, right? That's why we resonated. Yes, no question about it. So let's go a little bit deeper for the audience on that, right? So if you decide to really jump in with both feet in the veteran and or men direction, how do you see yourself branding and marketing in 2020? I mean, I have some great ideas for you.
Well, one of the things I said to you, when we were at the conference, was really about being authentic in all ways, which was including, one of the things that I said to you was even to how I dress. And usually when I'm doing business type stuff, I dress more businessy, but it's not a very comfort space for me, because I've spent most of my life in scrubs and in jeans and sweats and things like that. So since that, I have been dressing more for me. While I still look nice and professional, I'm doing that for me. And the confidence level shows in how I'm connecting with people.
And let's go deeper on that for people, right? Because that is part of your brand. Why is it that they feel the confidence from you? It's because you feel comfortable, right? Yes. You are being true to you, right?
Yes.
And again, I'm definitely the polar opposite of what most motivational speakers look like as well, right?
Right.
So it's understanding who you are, right, and running with that and letting the chips fall where they may,
yes.
And attracting the right audience for you. And the only way to do that, especially in today's world in 2020, is that authenticity, right? It's that energy.
It's funny, because somebody had told me when I was doing coaching a lot of leadership and things, and I was told by somebody, they said, well, you're not a leader if you're not dressed like in full business gear all the time. And when it was said to me, it didn't resonate with me then, but I took it on and I thought, okay, well, I'm coaching your program. I need to be, dressing the way that you wanted me to dress, but I was always very uncomfortable. Now I've given myself the permission to just be me in all that I am. It doesn't mean that I'm any less of a coach. And outside, I'm a hard coach. Don't let the pink or anything.
No. Actually, it's the reverse. Because you found the courage to be who you are, that makes you even a better coach because you're being authentic, right? You're
Yes.
not being hypocritical, and that means you're actually a better coach. And I'll anybody that really states that in today's market, in today's world, is so removed from the evolution. And I'll give them a great example. One of the highest paid speakers on the business platform on physical stages is Gary Vaynerchuk, okay? Owns and operates a $200 to $300 million digital media empire in Manhattan, walks on stage with skinny jeans, sneakers,
Yes.
and a hoodie. And
Yep.
the sneakers is his own line of sneakers, right?
Right.
He gets $120,000 for a keynote. So anybody that says that is so behind the times, it's not even funny. Like,
Yes.
it's scary.
It is
It's
scary.
actually scary that's your belief.
Yes.
So I love that. So I actually think that actually you're going to be a better coach for that because you're showing up real, you're showing up authentic, and that's what people truly want. And it weeds out the people that you're not going to connect with anyway. Let the universe do the heavy lifting, right?
Exactly.
Let the universe do the heavy lifting. So I'm going to throw some things out there and see what your response is.
Yeah.
If you do go down this road or whatever niche you decide to pick, how much in 2020, 21, 22 are you going to be leveraging what we're doing right now, podcast?
As much as I possibly can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
With everything. I've just gotten published in a magazine, so I'm starting to leverage that, and I wrote in somebody's book as well. So all of this is leverage for me.
I want to drive this home, right, for the audience, is that the magazines and the books, if my suggestion would be, hey, if you could find the time and they make it seamless for you, great, right? But the digital world is where we're at, right? So think about this. If you get on 2 podcasts a week that has your ideal audience, not only are you going to speak to their audience, but now you're going to repurpose all that on all your platforms. And you might even think about, I'm just setting seeds, you might even think about starting your own podcast.
It's so funny that you just said that because I have a podcast that's been on hold while I've been launching my program. And I'm starting it back up next week. I've already got somebody slatted for the first interview because I said, I know so many people who are up to amazing things.
And here's the thing.
Yeah.
You do it from your laptop. You do it from your office. You do it from Zoom.
Yes.
There's no reason to be on hold.
No.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
And now you get on those platforms. So between your own podcast, getting on other people's podcasts on a consistent basis, I think that's the game changer. Then that will lead to physical stages.
Yep.
That's, to me, what we're doing now is the absolute game changer. So much that all I'm focusing on in 2020, not all, but what I'm really focused on is just blowing up Brand Builder TV, YouTube channel with influencers.
Yeah.
That's it.
I agree. I'm heading the same direction, Dave. I just had this aha about 2 weeks ago and started changing things up for that. I mean, I'm building modules, weekly modules in my membership and everything else, but the membership eventually will run itself because everything's built, and then I can focus on this and getting the message out there and getting the word out there and speaking to people, which is where I know that's where I'm going to make the difference.
Yeah, and that's what's going to help you explode and scale. And those membership sites and those digital programs and those ebooks all get embedded in the notes, right? And it's evergreen. It
Yep.
just keeps building and building. So I love that. I just wanted to make sure that people really, I think new business owners, small business owners, one of the things that they fall down with or stifle their growth is they don't understand how to prioritize, right? And in order to prioritize, you got to know where you're at. Okay, I'm in 2020, right? Not 2004, not 1994, right? That was the magazines. That was the billboards. That was the print. We're in digital, man. This is a game changer. I just want people to know that.
Yeah, and it's so interesting to hear you say this because, and I think here's the thing, and I hear this so much with small business owners because I'm in such a large community of coaches. It's knowing who to listen to because everybody's giving advice out, but it's knowing who to listen to and who's actually making traction in what they're up to. And it's deciphering that. And there's a lot of noise. And you probably know this as well as I do. There's a lot of noise out there of, oh, do this, oh, do this, oh, do this. But you have to really look at what is making the difference right now. Where are we at here right now? And pick the thing that you think is going to make the most difference for you in this moment.
Yeah, no question. And one of the ways, some people might be asking, well, how do you decipher? How do you rise above the noise? How do you break through this? And it starts with you, right? So listen to your intuition, listen to your gut, right? And part of having the entrepreneurial DNA is being able to make a decision quickly, decisively. And if it's not the right decision as you're weeding through it, then you figure it out as you go. That's part of this whole journey, right? There is no perfect decision.
No, and there isn't. And it's also about letting go of, everything's a stepping stone for the next level. And whether it turned out stellar or whether it was a flop, it's still a stepping stone to the next level. And so it's about letting go of beating yourself up for maybe it didn't turn out right and just saying, all right, I tried it, didn't work. Let's do this now.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's exactly it. And the worst that happens is you gain more wisdom.
Exactly.
And that's the game changer. So let me ask you this: what, as a business owner, because I'm such a big fan of this, or I'm such a big believer, because it's worked both for me and against me. What would you describe your strengths and your weaknesses?
Ooh. Well, I would say strengths, connection. I love connecting with people. I love to talk to people. I can talk to anybody.
Okay.
So I love building relationships, which makes it really easy to grow my business. I think my biggest challenge for me has and always will be the technical side of the business.
Beautiful. So knowing that, right? And again, in today's world, it's so much easier now because you have resources that we didn't have years ago, which are digital, virtual assistants, right? Yes. Very affordable to get that done. And I have one now that, he does everything on the back end, right? Because I'm the same. I'm more the front. I got to clean up, make sure the back is always cleaned up. So I want people to understand that. To me, that's the epicenter, if you will, for a business that's either going to succeed and scale or fail or be stifled.
I agree. And I think that the important thing for me, Dave, was that as a business owner, I wanted to learn it just so I know, so that when I am hiring somebody, I know whether the work that they're doing is up to the standard that I want it to be. And so I did take the time to learn it. I mean, I've been building this business for probably 2 years overall, just taking courses and learning all the different aspects of this. And am I a pro at a lot of the stuff? No, but I know enough so that, when I'm hiring people to come in and support me, I know they're doing the job that I need done.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it.
Yeah, no, I think that's a huge point to really wrap that up, because if this way you're not going to be taken advantage of. This way, what's going on in your company. Absolutely.
Right. And I've heard some of my friends who have said, well, I don't know how to do that. How do you know how to, I don't know how to do that. I'm like, well, take a little time and learn it so you do know how to do it, because if you're in between assistants or whatever, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes
No.
you have to hunt.
No, it's a truth, and that's part of being a business owner, right? That's part of doing it. So I love that. Anything else that you want to share when it comes to branding and marketing in 2020?
I think probably the biggest thing is don't be so hard on yourself. I see, and I fall prey to this at times too. I want everything to be so perfect before I put it out there. It's not about perfection. It's just about getting yourself out there. So even if it's not perfect, put it out there and correct later. That's it.
Yeah, analysis paralysis kills so many people. Yeah, no, I agree 1,000%. And that being said, I'm excited that you're relaunching your podcast, getting that going. That's awesome. And excited to see what you can do in 2020.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very, very pumped. Anything else that you want to share that I didn't talk about?
No, I just if I am. I will share this real quick. If it's okay. I am launching a free challenge. Starts December 9th.
Okay.
It's for getting through the holidays. So it is a 5-day free challenge. People can come over to my page at Jillian Christy on Facebook to get more information on that. Got to get your feet wet and get through the holidays a little bit easier this year.
Love it. I love it. So it's a little challenge.
Yes.
So it gets some kind of pre-paving for 2020.
Exactly. And teaches you some good strategies for getting through the holidays without all the stress.
I love it. That's a huge void. That's a huge void that needs to be filled. Awesome. Anything I can do to help promote that, let me know. And then we're going to put all your links in the notes, right? And then we'll keep you posted when we get the full version launched, and then the clips.
Awesome.
Yeah, and keep me posted on your podcast.
I will. That's what I say. My first interview is next week, so I'm really excited.
Atta girl. Awesome. Well, thank you for taking the time, and looking forward to seeing what you can crush in 2020. And because we're neighbors, let's feel free to reach out and anything I can do to help.
For sure. Absolutely.